अक्सर विदेशी दौरों पर हम टैक्सी में चलते हैं, बहुत सारी यात्रा करते हैं और न्यूजीलैंड दौरे पर भी टैक्सी में यात्रा कर रहे हैं। लेकिन फ़िलहाल मैं जिस टैक्सी में बैठा हूँ वो कोई मामूली टैक्सी नहीं है और जो हमारे साथ जो चला रहे हैं जो ड्राइवर हैं वो कोई मामूली ड्राइवर नहीं है। आप देख सकते हैं ये तस्वीर कोई मामूली शख्स नहीं है। ये न्यूजीलैंड के महानतम खिलाड़ियों में से एक खिलाड़ी हैं जो कॉर्पोरेट टैक्सी जो है कैब वो चलाते हैं। अभी फ़िलहाल देख सकते हैं जब हम बात कर रहे हैं उनका कॉल भी आ गया। सुन क्या यू कैन स्पीक?
Oh, you've got. No, I'm cutting off.
ओके
That's all right. I'll ring you back later.
ओके तो ये इवन चैटफील्ड हैं न्यूजीलैंड के महानतम तेज़ गेंदबाजों में से एक इन्होंने वनडे क्रिकेट में 140 विकेट लिए हैं, टेस्ट क्रिकेट में 123 विकेट लिए हैं। रिचर्ड हेडली के ओपनिंग पार्टनर हुआ करते थे तो और उस दशक में लोग इनको बहुत जानते हैं। लेकिन ये अपने आप में एक अद्भुत कहानी है। भारत में आप सोच भी नहीं सकते हैं कि कोई पूर्व खिलाड़ी टैक्सी चलाएगा, लेकिन इनको किसी भी तरह की एक तरह से देखा जाए शिकायत नहीं, बल्कि बेहद एक आम इंसान की तरह इतने बड़े खिलाड़ी हैं, किसी भी तरह का इनके पास ईगो नहीं है, कोई चीज़ नहीं है कि मैं टैक्सी ड्राइवर क्यों हूँ। तो ये कहीं ना कहीं न्यूजीलैंड के कल्चर को दिखाता है कि कोई भी काम बड़ा या छोटा नहीं होता है। और फिलहाल हम इनके साथ टैक्सी यात्रा कर रहे हैं। इवन has it been difficult decision to drive the cab or is it just a normal thing for you?
Oh no, it's not that. Not difficult. I like driving. Right, so I was a courier driver before this, so I enjoy driving. And no, it's not easy. Long as once you know your way around, it's good. You meet a lot of people.
Has it ever happened you have drove any of your teammates or known people and suddenly they are surprised that you are the one who is driving the car? Has it ever happened?
Oh no, not really. I mean, most people in New Zealand that know who I am know that I drive for corporate cab. Well, that I drive a cab in Wellington, not necessarily for corporate, but they know. And so when and if they do get in the car, that generally it is. Not a lot of people know who I am. I do get people that wouldn't have a clue. And some people, I mean, the guy I've just had, he didn't know who I was till he saw the photograph, and then he had a guess at who I was. Other people don't want to guess in case they're wrong and make a fool of themselves. So yeah.
तो फ़िलहाल जो है ये हम उनके साथ इवन चैटफील्ड के साथ ये कार पे उनके साथ यात्रा कर रहे हैं और अभी हम क्रिकेट के मैदान पर जा रहे हैं, एक क्रिकेट के मैदान पर जहाँ पर हम उनसे और बातचीत करेंगे। लेकिन आप देख सकते हैं एकदम आधुनिक कार है, मॉडर्न कार है, जिसको ड्राइव करते हैं। और हमारे लिए कई लोगों को मतलब यकीन करना मुश्किल होगा कि एक इतना बढ़िया खिलाड़ी, पूर्व खिलाड़ी, इतना बड़ा स्टार खिलाड़ी जीविका के लिए अपनी जो पोस्ट रिटायरमेंट जो लाइफ होती है उसमें एक अलग भूमिका निभाता है। और ये चीज़ कहीं ना कहीं हर किसी को सीखने के लिए हम सब के लिए सीखने वाली बात है। कार की यात्रा भी आपने देखी। अब हम उनसे बात करते हैं, हम जो तेज़ गेंदबाज, पूर्व तेज़ गेंदबाज हैं इवन चैटफील्ड से। इवन एवरीबडी इन इंडिया स्पेशली इज स्लाइटली सरप्राइज्ड दैट सच ए फॉर्मर ग्रेट प्लेयर इज ड्राइविंग दैट कैब। So how will you explain your job post retirement?
Well, you always have bills. You got to pay the bills. And I'm getting an age now where I'm probably unemployable, and so this job suits me down the ground. I can drive for the hours I want to drive. I can have holidays when I want to. I can go and watch the cricket when I want to, and so on. So it suits me.
So do you sometimes envy the present day cricketers' richness because they earn a lot of money? No. And then you think that
No, I don't. I mean, I didn't have any say when I was born, so I was happy. I think that I was happy to be able to play cricket for New Zealand, and in the era that we did. I mean, a lot of teams today are actually compared with the teams of the 80s, not only in New Zealand but right around the world. I mean, all countries that play cricket had good teams in the 80s.
In your very test match, first test match. You almost cheated the test. Could you tell us about that incident?
You know, it's 45 years today.
Yeah, today is the 45 years of that.
45 years today.
तो मैं आप लोगों को बताना चाहूँगा उससे पहले कि जब पहला टेस्ट मैच चैटफील्ड ने खेला था तो इनको चोट लगी थी, क्रिकेट के गेंद से ऐसी चोट लगी थी कि इनकी सांस रुक गई थी और फिर इंग्लैंड के फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट ने इनको रिवाइव किया था। वो घटना, उस घटना के आज 45 साल हो गए हैं, तो उस घटना के बारे में जानते हैं। या could you tell us about that incident?
Well, it was. I mean, England had just been to Australia and got beaten up over there badly by Lilly and Thompson, and they could see this test. It was meant to rain. It was on the 5th day, and it was meant to rain. And you know, Jeff Howarth and myself, we batted for an hour on the 4th day, and then we had a rest day. And then we were back again on the morning of the 5th day, and we batted for another hour. And it was meant to rain, and England could see this slipping away. I mean, I don't know whether Peter Lever deliberately tried to bounce me to hit me, but it was a short ball that I didn't actually get in very well, and it came off the top of the handle, the back off my glove, into my head. That was the days before helmets. And I knew that. I walked away from the wicket so that I wouldn't fall on the wickets to, you know, get out that wicket. And then, you know, I passed out. And, you know, if it hadn't been for the English physiotherapist who ran on the Bernard Thomas, he ran onto the wicket. The English team were very concerned about me. And swallowed my tongue. So once Bernard Thomas hooked my tongue out so that I could get some air and down the airways. And you know, I was off to the hospital, and I woke up in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And they asked me, you know, questions about the game. You know, what my score was, what the team score was, what, you know, and all this. And I knew all that, so that took a little bit of pressure off, and that maybe the injury wasn't as bad as I'd hoped.
So are you happy that nowadays the way cricket is being played with a lot of protective gears, helmet and all these things, or as a fast bowler do you think it has made the batsman more confident? How do you think?
No, I think the more protective gears you wear, the better. I mean, we've already had, you know, Phil Hughes killed a few years ago. We don't want that. So, you know, especially they should at least have a helmet on.
And even talking about your career as a fast bowler, who among these Indian pacers, current generation, since this team has come, who has impressed you most?
Well, I mean, I don't have Sky TV at home, and so I don't see these guys playing in the IPL or in test matches around the world. So it's probably the first time I've ever seen Boomerang bowl. I've seen Nishant Sharma and Mohammad Shami, but I mean they all.
What is your assessment? Whatever you saw.
You know, I think they would have learnt out of playing at the base in this game. It may be the first time that they've ever visited New Zealand and played on New Zealand wickets, and so they'll be a much tougher proposition in the second test in Christchurch. But you know, obviously they're better bowlers than their figures have shown in this test.
But do you think that they are as good as any of the best trio in the past, like Bumrah, Shami and Nishan? They are as good as
probably as a bowling group, yes. You know, when we played, we had Kapil Dev was the main bowler, and then we had 2 or 3 others that were around them, but nothing as a group like the 3 that are bowling at the moment. And you've got other guys in the squad that, you know, younger guys that are coming through that can replace these guys when they get the pass.
My final question: who is one Indian player you are very fond of from your era or current era, and you are in touch sometimes when you have some sort of?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm really not in touch with any of players from other countries.
But in past, during playing days, who you were most friendly with?
From India?
Yeah.
I suppose there's Kapil Dev. Or, you know, you generally, if you're going to hang around with a player of your similar place in the side. Generally, every time we seemed to play him, he had a different opening partner or third change. So they sort of went through them quite often in those days.
And my final question: people still refer you and Richard Hadley's opening pair as one of the best. How do you recall your partnership with Mr. Hadley?
I mean, it was an unusual partnership, really, because I mean, Richard bowled at about 145, I bowled at about 125, or not. I wasn't that quick, but because I could bowl line and length for a long period of time, you know, and I could, you know, hold an end up, and so that they had to try and attack him, and so that he, you know, he would get wickets through that. But you know, I was just happy to play cricket. But, you know, and wherever I bowled, I was happy with.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
Nice meeting you. Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, you know, Mr. Trigger, where are you?